Okay, guys, so I was doing a history assignment for my history class, and then I went into the history assignment and started doing a tangent about racism and what I think for the future. But then I was like, do I want to actually like post a thing in my class about all this crazy controversial stuff? And I was like, no, you know what I want to do? Post it on my personal YouTube channel on the internet for everyone to see it. So that's what I thought about doing. So now you're gonna hear my not my opinion, but just my thoughts. But not my opinion, but my thoughts. Okay. So let me just sit down before my camera dies. And I'm gonna read my thoughts. Let's see. So I basically had finished the assignment saying how I didn't mind either way whether the women got the vote, but then I prefer would they would get the vote, but I didn't really mind. And then I went into this whole tangent about this other thing that wasn't even related to the assignments. Now we're 17%, so I'm gonna read what I said. I said, anyways, on a side note, have you guys heard the statistic prediction that by 2042, non-Hispanic whites will officially be a majority minority in the United States? That is to say, they will officially be the majority that composes less than 50% of the population. When I heard that, I was like, whoa. My race isn't going to be the majority of their own country anymore, like in the next couple decades. If white people are not the majority of their own country, what will become of them? What would that mean for the future of the US? Would that even be a bad thing if they were the minority? Would that even be a good thing though? Like, imagine all the Native Americans that probably think that that is what white people deserve. They want Native Americans to be the majority again and think that white people should justifiably go back to Germany. They would probably think it was a good thing. I bet a lot of immigration supporters would support these kinds of ideas and concepts also. But what if African Americans became the majority? I bet a lot of African Americans would be in support of that. Okay, but what if it wasn't Native Americans that became the majority, or even black people, or even Caucasian people? What if instead a bunch of people from like China immigrated and for all intents and purposes took control of the political sphere of the USA? Like, instead of whites or natives or blacks, we just became Chinese America and had to be forced to all learn Mandarin. Would everyone who supports DACA and immigrants be in support of that? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that episode of South Park where in the future all the races get homogenized into a single race and everyone just becomes a single shade of light brown. Okay. Anyway, regardless of what your opinion on the matter of the traditional white people losing control of what has traditionally been thought of as a white majority country is, let's move on. Because all this talk about races and different people being or becoming minorities, or even who thinks who deserves to be the minority, it's almost like it's kind of starting to sound a little bit controversial. What if it wasn't white people who are nowadays thought of and criticized by many political groups as being privileged that this kind of thing was happening to? What if the whole situation got reversed? For example, let's take a country that not many people in this class would be familiarized with and apply the same logic to, say, another country. Okay, let's say not Mexico, but let's just say the Indians all got together, I mean from the East, and immigrated and became the majority of, like, Italy. So now all the Italians just lost influence over their own nation. Would the majority of people from the USA opinionated that that was a good or a bad thing? Like, would all the Mexican Americans get together and be like, hooray, the Italians just lost their country to the Indians from the East, I mean? Anyway, as long as anything bad doesn't happen to me personally, I am pretty much okay and don't really care that much. Just some food for thought. I'm out.